The Queens of Spice podcast is created for adult audiences only. Our show contains cursing, vulgar content, dark humor, descriptions of sexual acts and desires, and is not suitable for listeners under the age of 18. Some episodes also contain themes which may be triggering for listeners. Please take care of yourself. Welcome to the Queens of Spice, episode 1. Off the top, I'm Rachel, also known as Rarga Rargi. I'm here with my BFF Ashton and my other BFF Jack.
Hi. Hi.
Thanks for joining me. We're going to take a shot of something.
Blue sourpuss.
It's been described as Windex, but
it looks like Windex.
It looks like Windex. Ideally, it doesn't taste like Windex.
What's the flavor?
Blue tropical, whatever the fuck that means.
That's super helpful. Thanks, sourpuss.
Some sort of blue? Did you just snort? I love this. Okay.
It's literally what it says in the thing. Blue.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, shoot.
Oh God, that tastes like high school. Also, if my mother's listening, please don't. So we're gonna talk about a book. Ashton, I know you've read this book, and it's a piece of work. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big fan myself. However, we're gonna give it justice. This is episode 1, Possessive and Unreasonable, a red flag story. We're gonna talk about Property of the Mountain Man.
Is this a cookbook?
It is. I don't know if you knew this, Jack, but this is a podcast talking about spicy romance novels.
Spicy romance.
They're cooking up something. That's
they are cooking in this book something, and it's questionable at best.
He's trying to cook something in her.
Oh God. Okay, this is written by Gemma Weir in 2021. There's like 5 books or something in this series. Read them if you want.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 books.
What? Wait. Oh, yeah.
There's one for
Sorry.
one for each brother.
I should say that there are 5 books out.
Oh,
Currently, yeah, available to you, reader. If you want to read them, I don't know if you do. Let's find out. This is set in Rock Point in Montana.
Montana.
Have you been to Montana?
No.
Okay.
But
because
it's big.
the book's actually property of the Montana. No, it's the Montana Mountain Man series. Is what
Correct.
it is.
You got it. Nailed it in the first try.
MMS.
What?
What?
Mountain Man
The
series.
MMMS. As one might call it. So roughly. So we're talking about this book is, yeah, that's what it is, Ashton. Thank you. This book sounds like I'm gonna need another drink. So, Property of the Mountain Man, based in Montana, as we mentioned. The book is about a gal named Bonnie. She works at a coffee shop, as one does in a small town.
A barista?
She's a barista. And there's this guy named Beau.
Beau and Bonnie.
Yeah, I know.
He's a
Okay, boy. So Beau has like this weird obsession with Bonnie.
That's a matter of perspective.
His barista.
Is it weird or is it just?
Well,
Anyway.
let's give it a rundown. He's got this like quiet obsession with her. He feels protective of her. He's gonna like look out for her. He noticed that she's like opening her coffee shop early, or not her coffee shop, the coffee shop she works at. She's opening it early in the morning and by herself, and it's a small town Montana, so maybe that's not safe.
Dangerous.
And closing
Because
it late at night.
small town Montana is super dangerous.
I have it on reasonable authority that small town Montana is not dangerous. However, Beau thinks it is. And
the bears. It's the bears.
It's obviously
And
it's the
moose.
bears.
Moose?
Mooses.
Caribou?
No, this is in Montana, not Canada.
Oh yeah, right.
Do they have caribou in Montana?
They must have caribou
I'm
there.
pretty sure they don't they don't go down. They're like, nope, Canadian border. Let's go back.
Where's my passport, real quick? So Beau rolls up to this coffee shop like every freaking day in the morning and every evening when he's, when she's working late, and makes sure she's, not there by herself.
Because he wants coffee.
He doesn't though. Okay. So,
Well, he does still want coffee.
However, and he's literally the guy next door. I should mention that. Like, he grew up, she.
Oh, shit. Caribou, members of the deer family, are native to northwest Montana, but have almost completely disappeared from the contiguous United States over the last half century.
So there could or could not be caribou in Montana. Is that what we're saying? That's what we're hearing?
Yeah,
I think
we're not really sure.
I think we're gonna go with there are caribou in Montana.
Okay, so I'd like to retract my previous statement that there are in fact caribou in Montana,
Or at
And
least
they're
there
clearly
used to be.
dangerous.
and they're definitely Canadian. So let's talk about that. Just like us.
We're gonna talk about the Canadian caribou in Montana
You know what?
and how
Let's-
dangerous they are.
Let's wait. Let's
What?
talk about that later.
What's Beau up to?
Okay, so Beau rolls up to this
Beau
coffee
doing?
shop, like whatever, and he doesn't make a big deal of it, and he's fine. And then there's this like, so Montana, this little like small town Montana is a bit of a tourist place, so people come and visit here. So this like guy comes to town who's obviously a tourist. He's like, I'm gonna set up shop in this small town Montana and start selling things to tourists. Blah blah blah, and he immediately goes into this coffee shop and of course hits on Beau's woman. Bonnie, who obviously
my.
Bonnie, who knows 100% that Beau obviously wants to date her. Really, obviously, no, never one time.
I was like,
yeah, yeah,
at
you're
what-
remembering correctly.
At what
So,
point did that come
it
across?
doesn't. No, I don't. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that I don't think ever in this book he's like, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? I'm pretty sure those words never would come across his mouth.
Also, it should be stated that Bonnie had a major crush on Beau.
Oh yeah, fair game.
That's a thing. Like that's kind of important.
yeah,
So they like each other, but neither of she
it's
doesn't
complicated.
know he likes her.
Well, she has so he was the like guy next door for all of her life. Older guy, like considerably older,
Much
like double
older.
her age older next door. And yeah, which is okay. Anyway, we'll get into that about him living with his brothers. But so this dude rolls into town and then is hitting on Bonnie, and Beau like flips his shit because I don't know if you ever met an alpha male, Jacqueline.
Like a dog?
It's like a dog, but except it's a
Yes.
man, and he's a fucking asshole. So
Oh, like the gym bros?
yeah, it's kind of a
Gym bros, I wouldn't even consider them alpha. They're more like wannabes.
Oh,
Wanna
it's
be
tricky.
alpha?
It's complicated. Okay, so
It's
this
always complicated.
anyway. So he throws his alpha weight around. He's like, excuse me, Bonnie, you're basically mine. And she's like, I'm not. And he's like, you are. And then she goes out with this guy who just like rolled into town.
Well, what's his name?
His name is Dan. Dan the out of towner.
Dan the out of town man.
Also, Dan had a different last name, and when they mentioned Dan's last name in the book twice, and he has a different last
Yes,
name
I
in each
thought that.
way.
Okay, I'm lying
Yeah.
a lot crazy.
No.
Every so often, I'm like, did I read that right? I've read a lot of books lately. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, maybe that's anyway.
Hashtag edit fail?
I don't know if these are. I don't know if these are self-published or not. I didn't. Did you look into that? Because sometimes authors self-publish, and then
I feel like this had a publisher on it.
And they don't edit things?
It depends. There's different qualities of editing.
well, it just depends on.
Listen, have you read 50 Shades?
No.
Nobody edited that
actually, I
shit.
haven't.
Oh, it's the garbage. Anyway, nobody edited
No,
that.
I read the Maid series by Danielle Laurie.
Yeah.
Is that like The Handmaid's Tale?
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
They're
it's-
gangsters. Okay, we're getting off track. Okay, we'll talk about them in a different episode because I love
The Handmaids?
No, we're not going to talk about Handmaid's Tale.
it. No, we're
I
living
mean,
the
we
Handmaid's Tale
could,
right now in the
but
States. It's fine.
No.
Okay, so the dude rolls into town, hits on Bonnie. Bonnie's like a pliable young 20-year-old, 19?
21,
21.
barely.
Oh yeah, sorry. I have my notes barely 21.
Yeah, because you have
Which
notes.
makes Beau 42?
He's
he's
like, I think it's
43.
43. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, in your notes,
Oh, look at
Beau
that.
Barrett, the mountain
43.
man, 43.
It's almost like I wrote this down exactly so that I could remember it because I can't remember anything.
I'm surprised I'm even looking at these notes.
I appreciate that. I wrote them for you and me.
I don't have notes.
You don't get notes.
It's okay, sweetheart.
Baby girl, it's okay. You don't get notes.
Baby girl?
Baby girl. So Beau obviously is now like, oh my god, I have feelings for this girl.
What'd she say?
What? What did you say?
Red flag.
Oh yeah, this is a red flag story.
I meant you calling her baby girl was a red flag.
Baby girl, me calling you is a red flag.
Red flag on the
Did
play?
he kiss her before this though? Like I can't remember. Did he break? Because he brings her back into the kitchen and he's
That's
all
after.
like,
That's after. No. That's when she doesn't answer his phone call. Yeah,
he does it twice.
He takes her back and like lectures her, but I think that's after. That's the second time.
I can't remember.
Anyway,
A good old tongue lashing?
One might call it.
you might call it that, but in this case, it's more of like your dad getting mad at you because he's 43 and you're 21.
Only your dad wants to fuck you, and
Oh, it's so weird.
into the mic.
Oh, sorry. I should mention we don't kink shame age there. That's fine. You do what you gotta do.
Don't yuck my yum.
Yeah, don't yuck my yum. That's okay. I'm not gonna yuck anyone else's yum. However, they literally say in the book that she's barely 21. It's a whole thing.
Which in the United States,
As much is definitely, especially Montana. Oh, I bet the age of consent in Montana is like 16. That's fine.
I didn't even thought
13.
What?
Do you know this for a fact?
Is that
No.
a fact? Oh my god! Don't make shit up, Jacqueline.
13 if in Caribou.
Baby girl, don't make that shit up.
Yeah, 13 if you're a caribou.
If you're a caribou, the age of consent is 13. If you live to be 13 as a caribou, you're doing pretty good.
How old do caribou live?
I don't know.
Why?
I'll look.
Okay.
Keep going, Rachel.
Excuse me. So, Beau has feelings for her. Obviously, he makes it apparent, but he doesn't actually like ever ask her to date.
But he doesn't realize that he has feelings for her until he goes home
Oh
to
my
his brothers,
God.
and he's all like, cranky bear. And they're like, hee, how long was it going to take you to find out that you liked her?
So this guy,
I thought they were from Montana, not Alabama.
I mean, they're from the States. That's all it really matters.
oof, way to generalize. Hey.
Age of consent 16.
Oh, I called it. I 100% called it. Okay, so the age of consent is 16. However,
Caribou?
there is a scene in this where they go to a bar, so obviously she has to be of drinking age because we only break some laws, not all of them.
I mean, underage, because there's no book out there where underage drinking is written.
I mean, underage drinking was literally the best time of my life. I don't know if you remember underage drinking, but I had a great time.
I was drunk for most of it. And probably high. Who knows?
Tricky. It was a different time. So Beau goes home and gripes to his brothers, of whom are plenty, and he lives with them.
Plentiful.
Yeah, there's Bay, Cody, Granger, Huck, and Penn and Teddy.
Don't forget Teddy.
And don't forget
I'm
Teddy.
sorry, did you just call someone Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
B-A-Y, not B-A.
B-A-Y.
So
Okay.
we're clear.
Yeah, it's Beau and Bay, which is kind of weird anyway.
Yep.
Questionable parents. So he goes home and gripes to his siblings, and all of them have apparently already taken bets, knowing that this was going to happen. And I think was it Teddy that won the bet? I think it might have been Teddy that won the bet. Spoilers.
I have no idea.
Also spoilers. Teddy won the bet. And
because that's the biggest concern is who won the bet. Spoiler.
I
Not
mean-
the rest of the book. Spoiler.
I mean, you go into this book knowing what's going to happen in about 12 seconds. Let's be honest here.
So Dan and Bonnie go on a date at this. I think it's an Italian restaurant, and one of Beau's brothers sees her on the date.
Yeah,
Is it Bay?
he's across the.
No,
it's one of the two brothers run a garage in town.
Is it Cody?
I want to say it's Cody and Huck, maybe,
I can't remember.
or Cody and Penn, perhaps.
Or does Granger have a garage?
No, I think Granger works with.
he works his
Beau.
brother.
He-
Yeah,
he
Beau
owns-
has his own
He owns a logging
logging
company.
company thing. Yeah.
That sounds hot.
I mean, yeah, that's.
I mean, I'm on TikTok. I have seen Thorne Bradley. It's hot.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly. Oh right. So Dan goes on a date. The date Beau's brothers find out that this date's going on because they see Bonnie.
They
in
see
town.
her, yeah.
Because as we know, growing up in small town, you can't do anything without anyone knowing.
And they text Beau, and Beau comes flying down off the mountain and fucking interrupts that date and is like, "You can go now, little man."
And he says that to Dan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
And
kicks
then-
him right out of
so
his own
he
date at
fucks
the
off.
Italian
He
place.
tells Dan to fuck off, and then Dan fucks off.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen the picture of this guy on the fucking cover? If he came at me, I would probably turn into a puddle of mush and be like, "Yes, sir. Please, sir. How can I help you,
See,
sir?"
you say that, but as a self-proclaimed alpha female, I would tell him to take his dick. And
Oh,
shove
yeah.
his own ass.
Hands down. But, like, in my fantasy head, where I'm like, this sounds hot, obviously I would quiver like a fucking... like a leaf
my
and be
goodness.
like, "Sir, please tell me how you like it."
Ashton, would that make you moist? Do you think?
Oh, I hate you so much right now.
Oh my
Edit that out.
So also, I want to make a point. So during this whole thing, she lives with her dad, and on the same property, her brother and sister-in-law, her brother's who's like 20 years older than her, basically, live on
He's
the same
Beau's
property.
age.
Yeah, like he went to school, high school with Beau, so
Yeah.
he knows him kind of. And the brother is just like, his name's Caleb. Right off the bat, he's just like, "Oh, don't date that guy. That guy's
dick.
bad news." And then
About Beau.
And he's like, yeah, don't, like, it's like, he's unhinged, he's crazy, he's wild, don't go near him. And he's the only person, I'm going to say, with utmost confidence in this entire book who speaks any sort of fucking reason.
Yeah, but he's also a dick to Bonnie. So I don't think when the author writes it that way, I don't think she's writing it that way to be like, oh, Caleb cares so much for his sister.
No,
it's more like,
don't get me wrong,
he's a dick. And
is.
even like the dad is like, I don't know why he's such a dick to you. And Beau's like, do I need to beat your brother up? And she's like, no, please don't beat my brother up. I can beat him up on my own. And then she rides horses.
And apparently is bomb at Xbox. Who knew?
She's bombing
a
it. Oh,
horse.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. She's a horse girl.
She lives
She lives
on
on a ranch.
She lives
They're
on a
Montana.
ranch.
Everyone's a horse girl in
I
Montana.
mean, yeah. She rides the horse to like put the pegs down for like the fence. She fixes the fence.
Fixing the fence.
Yeah.
Pegs.
Like the fucking
Not
pegs
that,
to
not
the
those
fence.
kind of pegs, Jack.
Posts.
Posts, yeah. We're not talking about pegging yet.
What's pegging?
Oh, girl. Baby girl. It doesn't come up in this book. We'll talk about it in the next episode.
Why do you keep calling me baby girl?
So this is he's very much like, you know how like the classic. Do you know how historically people were like, oh, just wore her down and now we're dating and we're married.
Yes.
That's
the
very much,
whole,
that's
like,
very much
she
a,
says no.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just keeps on trying and harassing the shit out of her. And then finally she just can't take it anymore. And so she's like, fine.
It's got a lot of that feel to it. But he goes pretty hard at it. And it's one of those,
It's not even that he goes hard at it. He just does not listen. He's like, no, you're mine. And she gets no fucking say at all. There's no convincing. It's literally just it is and then it isn't. Like making cookies for her dad and stuff. It's like, no, I just decided this is the way your life is going to go and you don't have a fucking say in it. Come get in my bed because we don't invite women but here unless they're here to stay. Which is, admittedly, I did like that part.
What kind of cookies?
chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip.
Nice.
I did like that part. Like, I like the whole, like, this is our house. This is where we have, like, the person that's going to be with us. But,
Okay,
like,
okay.
Whoa.
Not all of them. Everybody individually.
No, this is not a white shoes situation.
This is
no.
not a everybody pokes the girl.
That's
But they all live together under the same roof that their parents built.
Oh, can we talk about privilege real quick too? How many rooms does that have? That house have like 7 or 8 rooms?
Would have to.
That's a lot of rooms.
I mean, but
They
they
all
built it.
I know. That's wild.
On a mountain
Do you think how much do you think that would sell for right now
in Montana.
in
I
Montana?
don't fucking know. Like, why would you want to sell a house like that?
To make a lot of money is my point.
Yeah, but the whole point in keeping it is because it's where they were raised and their parents were so in love and they want the same kind of relationship that their parents had, which is admirable, yes. But, like, don't kidnap a girl and make her your bitch. I mean, or do that. I don't know.
They really do kind of gloss over the kidnapping aspect that is in this book, I would say. It's kidnap romanticized. Yeah.
I'm picturing like Gaston and Belle.
What?
Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah. He like just
He doesn't kidnap her.
he pretty much.
When does he? Oh yeah, when he locks her in her own basement, I guess. But that was her basement.
So are you saying
But
that if
he's like-
Beau
he's like-
locked her in her own bedroom and then did her, that would be okay?
Well, Gaston didn't lock her in with Gaston. He took off and went to murder the guy that she was in love with. That's a bit different.
Also, why did Gaston? Oh, it's Disney. Never mind.
What?
Then don't
Nothing.
you think he was gonna go back and let her out of the basement?
Well, yeah, obviously, but she broke that shit down.
I don't really.
Also,
remember
I really
this.
love the note here. Why the fuck are people always washing women's hair? Stop that.
Oh my
That
God,
shit
okay,
gets washed
all right.
once a week, maybe twice.
Oh.
I wash my hair far more frequently than twice a week. And I'm telling you, if a man were like, would you like me to wash your hair? I'd be like, yeah,
Okay,
that sounds lovely.
all right, hear me
and
out.
that is not discounting my, like, I do everything. And that is my headspace. I would 1,000%, as me, as an individual, outside of my fantasy realm, allow a man to wash my hair.
Bad bitch Ashton, the real version, would allow this.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
I'd also
Okay.
fuck a werewolf. But anyway, I digress.
So my thing with this is that there's been a few books I read lately, back to back, that have been like, oh my God, we're going to be showering together. It's super hot and sexy, but I'm going to wash your hair first. But they do it every fucking day.
Oh, no. It's like, no, you don't wash my hair.
This is what I'm
If you're in the
saying.
shower with me every day, you're going to get punched in the nuts. Like, just let me clean myself and let me do my thing. We don't need to make a fucking, song and dance at a showering constantly. But every once in a while, fuck yeah, get in there with your fingers, massage my scalp, and make me feel pretty.
Man, my hairdresser did that to me today.
But that's what they do.
I know,
That's
she
their job.
massaged my head and made me feel pretty. And
It's
really
so
liked
annoying
Thanks,
when they do
Michaela.
it.
Shout out to Michaela.
It's so annoying when
And
they
you
do
do
it.
look pretty with your new hair.
Thank
Yeah,
you. It's
you really
green.
do.
I love green.
But it's annoying when they do it to me because they're like, oh, you're a massage therapist? Oh, okay. And all of a sudden it's like porn style massaging my hair. And I'm like, can you please stop?
I mean, porn style massage my hair anytime you want.
Oh,
Actually.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, 100%.
No,
I don't know what
there's
that means, but
There's a big difference. It's like, like the fake song and dance of like, I don't know.
are they,
Anyway.
I don't actually 100%.
moaning on you.
yeah.
Do I have to
Oh,
moan
your
at you?
hair is so soft. No, stop it.
Do you close your
baby
eyes
Girl. Baby girl.
when
Yes,
they're
I do.
washing your hair?
Yes, I do. Because it's
I mean,
weird.
I'm blind, so I take my glasses off typically. So,
Beware.
one of the big notes I had on here was that
He's 43 and never ate a woman out before because, sir, you're not doing anybody a service here. Like,
Yeah, so a lot of this type of book is always like, yeah, I've been with women before, but it's very like superficial and whatever. I've just railed her and then moved on with my life. But
with
you're
2 condoms.
with 2 condoms. But
Like on at the same time?
yeah, they like double wrap. It's a whole thing.
I don't think that's
He and the
like,
I don't
brothers
think
do
it's
it too,
possible.
which is anyway. Ashton, you can speak to the second book where that just doesn't apply anymore.
I'm pretty sure in grade 7 we were told that you can't really use 2 condoms.
I feel like if you have to use 2 condoms, one of them doesn't fit properly, but that's just me. I don't know. I don't have a penis.
I know. I feel like if I had a penis, I had much better perspective on that, but unfortunately, I do not.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah,
That she doesn't have a penis or doesn't have perspective.
Yes.
I don't have perspective or
Yes.
a penis, unfortunately. But what I was going to say, apart from my my note about he's been 43, never had a woman out before, she's a very one-dimensional character, which bothers me a lot. A lot of these kind of romance novels fall into this category of like, here's a woman that you can project yourself onto and pretend you're her.
Well, see, there's a difference between smutty books and books with smut. And this is definitely a smutty book. Whereas, the plot's very simple. It's easy to slip into. It's not a hard read. You don't have to think about it a lot. Whereas, like...
Oh, there's some things that are hard in it.
Well, yeah, Beau's hard like 90% of the time.
But
Though,
it's easy to slip into.
But that's one thing I did
it's not, though. She's a virgin. It's a whole thing.
But
That was
she
one
just
thing.
said.
That was one thing I did appreciate, though, where he was like, I'm not young anymore. Like, the refractory period was an actual thing in this book, opposed to being like, I'm hard again. It's like, sir, calm down. You're 43.
I guess, but that's like the least of my worries in this book. Honestly.
It was just something that I appreciated. Like a little touch of like normalcy normality, I don't know, in like the grand scheme of, I just essentially kidnapped you and I've basically made you my wife. And by the way, you're not allowed to pee on your own because no space, baby, no space.
Oh my God, Jacqueline. Okay,
What?
Jack, what would you do if you were with somebody who wouldn't let you pee by yourself? How would that make you feel?
Like, would they just be like in the bathroom with
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, like they're sitting on the vanity in the bathroom and having a conversation with you / watching you while you pee.
Like less than a week after you were together. And
But
we're
not
not
like-
talking we're not
yeah.
talking like you've been together a while, because like, let's face it, I definitely go to the bathroom to pee and my partner is right there playing computer games outside the door because my dog's at the door, the cats went in, my kid probably wants me.
Jesus Christ.
But we've been together for 7 years. There's not a lot of
So,
whatever.
but like pointedly, like someone you just started dating, like
No.
use that term loosely.
No.
Yeah, right. Okay, and in fairness, she does kind of like kick up a stink about it. She's like, well, maybe don't, and he's like,
Maybe get the
but he's
fuck
like,
outta
baby
here.
girl, baby girl.
No
Baby
space.
girl.
No,
No
space.
space.
No space.
No space.
No
He
space.
says
distance.
this to
Yes.
her?
He does.
Yes, he does.
And
This-
she's just like, okay, come on
There
in
will
the
never-
bathroom.
No,
There
it doesn't. It here's
Like
the thing.
my cats sometimes come to the bathroom.
Right. So this is the alpha male bullshit kind of thing. Is that if they don't say no, then it means yes.
Oh,
is a lot of the time.
God.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes no means yes.
And sometimes no means yes. It's a whole thing.
No means no.
Consent is important, folks.
If she doesn't want the fucking tea, she doesn't get the tea.
Where did tea come into
Oh yeah,
this?
that's the analogy.
Yeah, you know the tea analogy?
Is that if you ask for tea, you get tea, and if you say you don't want tea, you don't get tea. So that's consent.
Shocking.
Is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
36-year-old
it's
female. Wow, that's shocking.
Oh my God! You mean I don't have to drink the tea you put in front of me? Gasp.
I
You
don't
mean
like
I can
tea.
have tea and then stop having the tea because I don't feel like having tea anymore?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
you're allowed to say no in the middle of the tea.
Yeah, I grasp the concept now.
So that's the analogy for consent. It's very handy.
So she didn't say no, get out of the bathroom. So that means
No,
yes.
she did tell him to get out of the bathroom.
She
But
did that one time, and then he was like, "No," and then she was like, "Eh."
Okay.
It's the wearing her down thing.
It
Like,
is.
she's
It
like,
yeah.
it's a pick your battles. Is this the hill you want to die on? Because you clearly are going to die if you take that in you.
Because they live on a mountain.
They do. It's just
Also, apparently his dick's enough to perforate her. So, like, you know, that's another thing. All romance penises are massive. So
of course they are, because that's the fantasy. Because in
That's-
real life, that's not the case, unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah, most likely.
Probably.
Or singular.
I mean,
Why only
here's
have one penis?
oh, listen.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna talk about dragons on another podcast.
Dragons.
But put a pin in it. Yeah, okay. Dragons sometimes have two penises. That's all you need to know.
I don't think I needed to know that.
Don't you? What? Okay, fair.
So, anyways, no, don't come in the bathroom with me while I pee.
No, he's not coming in the bathroom. He's just sitting in the bathroom.
He like follows her in as she goes in, and
I mean,
she's
he
like,
does. They do come in the bathroom. Hence the don't wash your hair thing.
Excited by the peeing, or
No.
he just wants
No.
to be with her?
No.
He just wants. It's this concept of like, now that they're together, there will be no space between them ever again. They are together all the time when they can be. He like wants her to come to work with him. He wants her to be around her. He wants to be around her all the time, like constant. Super sketch.
Oh, that's so sweet. He really loves her.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this brings me to one of my points I wrote down was there's a lot of ways to be possessive and not be an absolute psychopath. Do you see the difference? You can be possessive and you can be alpha and whatever bullshit, whatever it is, but you can be not a psychopath. This guy, Beau, is a fucking crazy man, and it really takes me out of the whole thing, because it's just like, hey, I'm gonna tell you what to do and you're not allowed to have an opinion at all. As long as you don't say, like, fight me, even though she fights him and says no a lot.
So, what else besides the having to be in the bathroom with her
He like
happens?
she wants to. She makes muffins for the guys on the ranch that her dad owns, and he doesn't want her to stay at her house for the night, but she wants to because she gets up in the morning and makes muffins or cookies or whatever the case may be. And so he literally shows up at her house and is like, "You're coming home with me."
You're coming home with me.
Yeah. So he actually he makes cookies, or is it cookies? He makes cookies.
He makes cookies.
He makes cookies for her dad, for the guys the next morning, so he can take her to his house.
So she doesn't have to make the cookies.
See, and this is the thing. This is the thing.
This
about
is
this
how
book.
they get you, Jack. This is how they get you.
This is the thing
Baby
about this
girl.
book.
Baby girl. That's how they get you.
Beau.
Yeah.
Sounds so nice.
So they put these little pieces that are like, oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh,
I would
that's so
love it if
sweet.
a man made me cookies.
Yeah.
However,
I also like a choice in whether the fuck I go over to his house and get boned within an inch of my life. I mean, yes, but as I yell it into the mic. Yes.
Listen, I'm all about enthusiastic consent, and especially as a 20-year-old woman. There was a scene in this that, it set me right out of it.
I thought you were saying you were a 20-year-old woman. I was like, correction, please.
Gosh, I wish. Anyway, no, or do I? Oh,
No.
hard to say. So there's a scene, Jack. There's a scene, baby girl. There's a scene,
Oh my god.
baby girl. There's a scene in this book.
It's creeping me out when you call her baby girl.
baby girl. Baby girl. There's a scene in this book
Does
where
he calls her baby girl, not just baby?
he calls her baby girl.
Oh.
It's the worst.
What does she call him?
Asshole? No.
Yeah, actually,
Beau?
she does a couple times, I think.
You read it more recently than me.
I did.
I'm just a fly by the night, read it, and then be like, hey, Rachel, you should read this book.
Jack, listen. So there's a scene in this book where it's the first time they do it. Takes her V card, whatever, the whole shenine.
She means sex.
I'm
for
talking
those
about-
curious about what
I'm
to
talking
do it might
about
mean.
Putting a penis in a vagina.
Have
So
they done anything beside anything else?
they like made out and stuff, but I don't think
He like pinned her against the kitchen sink, kitchen counter at work.
at work. Yeah.
Because she didn't answer his text messages,
God,
and he flew in there. Oh no, the brother
The brother
shows up.
ratted her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, you should probably get
Answer
back to
your
Beau
phone,
because
yeah.
he's going nuts.
It's so weird. I'm like, oh my god. So hence why this is called Red Flags, because holy red flags all over the place.
Or what about when they follow her to the fucking bar secretively?
Oh my God. She has like a girls' night, which you know, like girls' night. That's a thing.
You haven't read the second
I haven't
one.
even read the other books yet. I don't think I'm going to, unless we want to read them for the podcast. But I don't think I'm going to read them. They're pretty one dimensional. But the point I was getting to, there's a scene after she loses her V card that after he takes it from her, where he's like, hey, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to pee after sex, and she's like, oh really? I had no idea. And I'm just like, why did you put this in the book?
What? That was in the book?
That was in the book.
Is it meant to be like slightly educational or something?
Yeah, it's a how-to guide.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a how to have a possessive asshole alpha boyfriend 101.
Possessive and unreasonable, as per Beau.
Sorry, possessive and unreasonable. Author's words, not mine.
Beau's words.
Beau's his own words about himself. And I just took me right out of her, and I'm like, okay. There's a lot you should. Now, in fairness, you could use the rationale that she kind of grew up without a mom. Her mom passed away when she was younger.
That doesn't mean that. Ripe for the picking. Hey, she doesn't have a mom. I know. I'm gonna abduct her.
She can be my mommy.
Ew.
And she's 21.
No shame. No shame.
Oh yeah, no shame at all.
No shame. Just
mommy. Sorry, mommy.
In this
Sorry.
context, yeah,
Mommy?
not so much.
Sorry,
Mommy? Daddy.
Beau is not daddy. No, I would say no.
Beau is definitely not daddy.
There's no daddies in this book. Not like proper.
How many daddies?
For
There's
him.
no daddies. Well, I mean, there's her dad, I guess, but he's not.
No.
Daddy.
He's not daddy though.
I don't
There's a
think my
difference.
mom told me to pee after sex. Was that
my mom
something-
definitely did, and she definitely told a bunch of other people too, though.
Yeah, your mom taught sex ed, so I mean that's a whole different ballgame. Do you know? Actually, in later years, my mother did too. Actually, but none of us were in school at the time, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
What?
You were saying, Rachel, that you found the book like one-dimensional, and that was good or bad because that meant that you could picture yourself there.
The character. She meant the character's one-dimensional.
So a lot of you'll come across some romance novels where, and I don't know if it's intentional. I'm not gonna lie, it could be not intentional, but they make the female characters very like boring and stripped down, and like there's not a lot of substance.
Not
there.
fleshed out. I wouldn't say
fleshed
that they're
out,
necessarily boring. They're just not.
Like kind of vague.
Yeah.
Intentionally vague.
So then you're like picturing yourself
Which is kind of the
as
allure.
Bonnie or something.
Yeah, kind of the allure. Like, if you don't give too many details, you can fit your own details, should you desire it, into that slot, into that character mold. So it is easier to be like, oh, this is a great fantasy of me and this guy. It's kind of like how with Twilight. Anyway, a big reason a lot of people like Twilight was the whole concept of like two guys fighting for them, which is why a lot of older middle-aged women really dug it, I think. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry, middle-aged women.
I think that's us now.
It is definitely us now. But I remember when it was popular, that was one of the conversations I had with several people, was like, when your life is not boring, but like kind of mundane and like
it's staling. Like it's you get stuck in your ways, and that's how it is. Yeah.
It's nice to be able to imagine yourself in that role, which is
when you've been reading The Joy of Cooking for too long. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Are you finding that you're reading The Joy of Cooking for too long? Because
No.
we got some books that we could recommend should you desire it.
Jack, we're not talking about that kind of Spice Girl.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna get Jacqueline to read something. So Jacqueline, you're not into a lot of spicy romance novels, are
Horny
you?
shit.
No.
So what do you think? What would you guess is like the sauciest book you've ever read?
The sauciest.
Or like this has
book.
like, have you ever read a book that has like some stuff in it? You know what I'm saying?
Twilight doesn't count.
Twilight doesn't count.
I mean, it could count if that's the sauciest thing you've read.
There's like a little bit of sauce.
Spice, dear. Spice.
In have you ever read Summer Sisters?
No.
No, can't say.
It's
Is that like
Judy
Sweet Valley
Blume.
High? Oh, yeah. All right. Yep. That is.
And also my detective series that I'm reading. Sometimes there's a little bit of sexy times.
Okay. We're gonna get you to read part of this book. And it's gonna be a lot of sexy times, and I apologize in advance. But here
You guys know that I don't even like to like say any of the words, right?
Sure.
Baby girl, you're gonna be. Can we ask you to say some words for us? Could you please?
All of this?
She's not gonna follow you in when you pee. Don't worry.
I'm not. I promise not to follow you to bathroom and pee.
Are you for real?
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Okay. I watch mesmerized as he opens his mouth and sucks my nipple between his lips. A wet patch forming on the lace. So fucking perfect, he whispers reverently as he releases the clasp at the back and slides the straps of my bra down my arms, letting it fall to the floor as soon as my nipples are revealed. Jesus, baby girl, he rasps as his teeth clamp down on my sensitive peak, and I cry out in pleasure-filled pain. Tiny, pink, and fucking delicious, he moans. I thought that was the pleasure-filled pain scream. He moans, allowing his tongue to dip out and lave at the tip. The heat of his lick mixes with the cool air. I suck in a startled breath as my nipples pebble and goosebumps break out across the skin of my breasts. I'm taking this shot right now.
How's your shot, Jack? What did it taste like?
Nipples.
Naked. I need you fucking naked. I want to look at you. He growls.
Like naked.
His fingers slide into the waistband of my leggings, and he pulls them down, taking my panties with them.
Ashton, what's your favorite word?
As he kneels on the floor, lifting my feet free of the fabric that he discards to the side. Still fully dressed, he rolls back onto his heels and looks up at me, his eyes raking over my exposed skin with a predatory gleam.
Predatory is definitely a word that I would use to describe this book.
This man is 100% predatory.
Oh my god. You're mine, baby girl. Every fucking inch. I was an asshole before.
But not now.
But now you're giving yourself to me. Oh, man.
Go on. Sorry, Jack. Go on. You can do it. Go.
But now you're giving yourself to me. Giving that perfect fucking pussy to me. I'll be 1,000 times worse.
Thank you, Jacqueline. I want to say...
Shots.
FYI, if you give it to me, I'm going to be more possessive. Just so you know.
Do you need a fourth shot, Jacqueline? Do you need another one?
Yes, please.
How did that feel for you?
How
was that?
That is a weird taste.
So you guys enjoy that?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
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 That's like the best part of the book.
That's the best part. Okay.
Of this one? Yes. 1,000% yes.
Fair.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I know you said you wouldn't read any of the other ones, but I have the mentality that I obsess and need to finish a series once I get started. And so I did read.
That's dangerous.
For my sanity, yes. So I did venture further into the series.
Oh, do tell. How did those go? So they're about the other brothers. That's my understanding.
Yes. Second book was about Huck.
Okay.
Huck. Oh, and well, Huck, because they go to the bar.
Yes, that's right.
And the girls get really drunk, and
he goes after Dat Peachy Ass of her friend, right?
Yes.
Did you just say Dat Peachy Ass?
Yeah, Dat Peachy Ass.
Yeah,
okay.
and actually
his word's not mine.
He calls her Peaches all throughout the book.
That's the pet name, kind of like Baby Girl.
That's sort of cute,
Baby
Peaches.
Girl.
I mean, it is better than Baby Girl.
Better than Baby Girl.
So much
The
better
biggest
Baby Girl.
the biggest thing for me was in this book, when you get introduced to Bay, Cody, Granger, Huck, Penn, and Teddy, they
I
all
feel like you're gonna say Teller every time.
Oh,
but
Penn
then
and Teller?
Penn and Teller, yeah.
Fair.
But
Penn
then it's
and Teller.
Teddy.
Quite the opposite in every single way. Every single way.
Yeah, I mean, he's
There's
the
no magic.
youngest. Well, I mean, it depends. I'm sure
I
they
haven't
can
read
do
his
some
book. I have not
fun
read his
things
book
with
yet.
their penises.
Is that
No.
what? Sorry, is that what penises are for?
Magic?
Do you do magic with penises?
You can. I mean, I'm sure guys can turn them into balloon animals if
do
they
you
try
make
real
them
hard.
disappear?
Ooh.
Somewhere?
Or maybe not real hard. They probably don't want to try hard.
Balloon animal?
Well, I mean, it depends on how big the penis is.
I don't think I've ever seen that hentai before.
I mean, if anybody would have seen it, Rachel, it would have been
What's
you.
that rule?
And that's what I'm trying to say.
What's the rule?
Rule 34. If it exists, there is porn of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when they're at the bar, Huck meets the best friend. I can't remember what her name is. Anyway, no, sorry. Like I said, when you're introduced to all of the brothers, they're all given their like distinct personalities, and like one's a little more this, one's a little more that. So like you're kind of given a flushed out idea of them. Mm-hmm. But then when you get into the second book, Huck is very much like Beau in that he is possessive, and like they even talk about how, you know, this mentality comes out in him, and he's like, I understand now. And Beau, he's doing some very questionable shit, and Beau sits back and he's like not stopping him because
of course he's
he'd
not.
probably do the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
So
Did you just listen to me read that weird thing? Of course you would.
and here's
that's
the thing.
tame there, dear. That's very tame.
So, and what you got to realize too is that part of the like this book takes place over like a week. So
Yes.
realistically, we don't even know like going forward what kind of shit Beau's be pulling.
What? This is a
Like,
week?
This is a week.
Like they literally get engaged at the end of the week. It's a whole thing.
I mean, Dan's just gone.
Dan's
Dan's
gone,
gone.
100% gone. He's probably like skipped town.
But I mean, is he alive still?
Yes.
yeah, oh, yeah,
Beau
he's
didn't
fine.
murder him.
Okay.
He's like dead in the logging trail somewhere because Beau ran him over.
Rip Dan.
Bye, Dan.
We miss you already.
Do we? You see, obviously, Bonnie and Beau in Huck's book. So I imagine, like, throughout, you're going to see the rest of them. It's just, I would have liked a little bit more dimension to the characters if I'm gonna invest, because Lord knows I will invest, because my obsessive ass cannot do anything but, and I'm like, you know me, I'm down for the.
Oh, I'll read a series. Give me a series. I'll destroy that series.
Well, it's not even the series. Like, I'm down for problematic shit. Like, probably, arguably, more so than anybody here. I'm like, yeah, the worse, the worse, the better. Yes, please.
Listen, we can't all be into some stuff.
You mean drowning her while there are sharks in the water and you're
listen.
fucking her from
Okay,
behind?
spoilers. Shark Daddy is a future episode.
What?
Shh, Jack. Baby girl,
I
just
have to wash my hair that day.
wait. Do you have a man to wash it for you?
Yeah. Will your husband wash it for you?
What is your stance on hair cum?
Me personally?
100%.
Like in a book or personally?
No, personally.
Why would I want cum in my hair?
Listen, some people are possessive like that.
Look, I am all for cum marking, cum play, all that shit when I'm reading it. If you come on my back, come on my face, come in my hair, we're gonna have words.
Now, what if it's a hair washing night?
I don't fucking care. Do you know how hard that shit is to get out?
I do, yes.
Yeah, so why would I want it in my hair? I am, like I said, I'm all down for marking. Like, biting and scratching is very far my favorite, but I'm like...
Fictional or real?
Honestly...
Both?
IRL, I do dig some nibble.
Doing or getting?
Both. Oh man, I've bitten. I have bitten. But yeah, no, don't come in my hair. Nobody come in my hair. Like, oh, gross. No, thank you.
What about Adam Driver? Can he?
Oh God, no! Don't. Why did you gotta bring him up?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, she.
We don't have that in Canada.
I'll just say that there are very few things that I would not allow that man to do to me.
Welcome, viewer. If this is your first time tuning in to the Queens of Spice, which likely it is, Ashton
Yes,
has
because it's the first episode.
Ashton has a unhealthy obsession with Adam Driver.
It's
and
not unhealthy.
Ashton
It's
has
just
an unhealthy obsession with Adam Driver.
it's not unhealthy.
It's very unhealthy.
Who's it unhealthy for?
Me.
Adam Driver.
And Adam Driver.
Yes.
And does he have a wife and family? Them too, probably.
Does he have kids?
Yeah, he's got a son.
Really?
Yep.
What's his name?
I don't know. I'm not a creep.
Aren't you?
Aren't you though?
So yeah, no. I would cower in a ball and cry if I ever came across him on the street. I would not approach. So yes, he is perfectly safe from me. I am arguably harmless.
Arguably.
I mean, to him anyway.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce you to Ashton. Arguably harmless.
Not generally, but you know.
Not
I mean,
generally,
I hurt
but
people for a
arguably.
living, so.
And unapologetically straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue though.
Well,
Unapologetically straight, unapologetically horny, unapologetically me.
hey, I would like to unapologetically thank you guys for being here. In this inaugural episode of Queen Spice.
She's rushing us off.
Do you have any final comments about Property of the Mountain Man that you'd like to put out there for the world?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Are we talking
Yeah.
to Ashton now?
Yeah, we're talking to Ash.
I mean,
If you were to, how many mountains would you rate this out of 7?
I would not climb this mountain.
out of 7 mountains. How many?
I would not
mountains?
climb it.
Like half a mountain?
No.
Would you even glance in this direction? Okay, so I would give this about a quarter of a mountain. Smut was good. Spice was good. It was kind of hot. I hate everything about Beau as a human being. And I really, really just did not like this book a lot. Don't I read it?
You
if
just
want.
said the spice was good, the smut was good,
Yeah.
Spice and smut, the same thing.
Same.
and you only gave it a half a mountain out of 7?
one quarter of
A
a
quarter
mountain.
of a mountain.
Yeah. So I gotta have some substance to my books if I'm gonna get into them.
But that we're going back to these porn book, or not porn books, sorry. Spicy books versus books with spice.
So
That's
this was a spicy book.
This was a spicy book.
Correct.
This was a book
Yeah.
written with the intention of
being spicy.
Yeah.
with a certain number of tropes, like the alpha male, the possessive, the age gap. Like those are things like the author really wanted to get in there, and they did it well. Arguably, they did it very well. And some spicy books are more some people's things than others, but there's a big difference between a spicy book and a book with spice. A book with spice has like intense substance and
banter.
well, banter, like content, like plot that actually goes somewhere.
It's like a real book, but then
Whoa, books are real.
that
but like a real
Jacqueline throwing shade here. So it's a real book opposed to a fake book.
I'm opposed to all these fake books you guys read.
well, you know, like it's as opposed to like just monkeys on typewriters.
Are you calling Gemma Weir?
Gemma Weir, I'd like to apologize in advance. We're not calling you a monkey. Please,
Continue
please
doing
continue
your
writing.
thing.
I mean, it's
Listen.
not really apologizing in advance since I've already said it, and I'm not sorry. So, do I get to rate it?
Oh yeah. How did you feel about this? How did you feel about this book? Now that what we've explained to you and what you've read.
How many mountains did it make you uncomfortable?
Ooh,
Yeah, uncomfortable mountains.
uncomfortable mountains. That little passage I had to read was, I mean, compared to things I'm used to reading, that might be like a 5 mountain.
Well, out of 7.
5 out of 7 mountains? I don't know.
So like you're talking like writing quality or like
Okay.
No, like uncomfortable. Please,
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
give me more shots and
Yeah,
don't make me
yeah.
read this anymore.
Are we done? Is
I
that
think
it?
you know what? Thanks for joining me, guys. I appreciate.
Thanks
you
for
being
being here with us.
Thanks for reading The Mountain Man with me, Ash. Property of the Mountain Man with me, Ash.
You mean thanks for recommending it to?
Thanks for recommending that horrible book to me. Sorry, not horrible, just not my style.
Honestly, one of my favorite things is when you're like, I started reading this book. Have you heard of it? I'm like, I definitely recommended it too. And you're like, oh yeah, right.
Oh yeah, right. You recommend all my spice to me. My
Spice and book talk.
yeah, you are my ambassador of spice, as it were. So thanks for joining
Very
us.
smart mother.
Ash, my fairy smut mother, will be recommending another book.
Constantly.
Thanks for joining us on Queens of Spice. We're going to take a shot on the way out. Thanks to Sourpuss for not sponsoring this episode. If you'd like to sponsor a future episode, you can email queensofspice@gmail.com. And
Holy shit, we have an email address.
buddy, do we have an email address? If you'd like to follow us on social media, we have Queens of Spice on Instagram. We haven't gotten to TikTok yet. We'll see you in the future TikTok. We'll get there. We'll do it. The next episode, if we're doing this in chronological order, is Feral Sins, and it's gonna be better than this. thanks for joining us on Queens of Spice.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to the Queens of Spice podcast. You'll find us on Instagram and Twitter at Queens of Spice. Or if you want to send us an email, you can reach us at queensofspice@gmail.com.